Uh. Yeah.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to part 3 of this Orc Biker video. In this final part, I'm going to be painting up all 3 bikers. So let's get started. I had done a zenithal prime on these bikers. I wasn't quite sure which color scheme I wanted. I did end up sticking with black, so that's what the armor panels are going to be. So here I'm starting with Joe Sanja's carbon black, and I'm going to paint all the armor panels, including the orc armor, in black. This took about 2 to 3 coats, so take your time and be patient. I did try to keep the orc biker bottom half white, as I wanted them to be a different color. But if you did get any overspray on them, it's not a big deal. To highlight the black, I'm going to start using P3 Coal Black and do a top-down highlight. I'm not going to overthink it. If the light can hit it, it's going to be highlighted. And don't forget to spray the leg armor of the orc riders. My second highlight is going to be with P3's Gravedigger Denim. This will be a little bit more focused on certain areas of the armor panels. I will be focusing this highlight on the very tops of each of the panels. To base coat the orc flesh, I'm going to use Joe Sanja's Phthalo Green. And I'm going to spray all over each of the orc bodies. This will take about 2 coats. To start highlighting the orc flesh, I'm going to use a mixture of 50-50 Phthalo Green and light green from Joe Sanja's. And I'm going to use a 45-degree angle and a zenithal angle to highlight all the tops of the muscles, leaving the deeper recesses with the phthalo green. Don't forget about the heads as well. For all the metallic areas, I'm going to start base coating them back up with Joe Sanja's carbon black. I'm going to be hitting all the armor panels that are on the heads, all the weapons, chains, and any extra details that I'm not quite sure what color I want yet. I'm going to paint them black so it's easier for me to see. I also rebase coated the handlebars and all the little wires that are sticking out in carbon black. To start base coating all the leather areas, I'm going to use P3's Bloodstone. While painting this, I was actually using a dabbing motion to try and build some sort of leather texture. On these Orc Bikers, I wanted to have some red accent colors on them. So I used Army Painter's Pure Red. I thinned it down 50-50 with some water, and painted it on all the areas I felt could use a bit of red, like the wires, the armor panels on their arms, the handlebars, their pants. The red did take a while to apply. It took me 3 to 4 coats, so take your time and be patient. For all the metallic areas, I came in with metal color gunmetal grey. I focus on areas such as the handlebars, the exhaust, the guns, and little bars and chains that are littered around the model. Also their weapons. Take your time applying this color. You don't want to get it on any of the other colors. It'll take a bit of time to fix it up, and it'll always leave a little glittery finish after you do. To start finishing off all the orc skin, I'm going to come back in with Joe Sanja's light green. Here I'm going to focus on all the tops of the muscles and any edges I can find, leaving my previous colors in the recesses. This took about 2 thin coats. For the final extreme highlight for the skin, I'm going to mix light green and light yellow, 50-50, and just paint the absolute tops of each of the light green areas. To shade the red, I used a mix of pure red and deep purple ink from Liquitex and washed it over all the red areas. This was a bit of a thin color, so I had to do 2 thin coats to get the depth I was happy with. To finish off the armor panels, I'm going to come in with the edge highlight with Citadel's Lothran Blue. I'm going to edge highlight all the top edges of all the armor panels, and any areas that require a little bit of visual interest. To bring back the brightness of the red, I came back with the pure red from Army Painter and just highlighted the tops of all the red areas. I also took this opportunity to paint all the wires I wanted red. For all the rest of the wires, I had shared the colors out with Lothran blue and light green, just to break up all the colors that were on the model. To highlight all the silver areas, I'm going to use Citadel Stormhold Silver. I'm going to dry brush all the silver areas, including all the jet engine parts and pipes, weapons and chains. Now for the bases. As you can see, I've already started by painting all the base details in the pink and blue color scheme. If you want to know how I did this color scheme, please refer back to my previous video on the Puppetswar Superhero Landing Striker. To start off painting these bases, I'm going to use a thin down, burnt umber, and raw sienna from Josan. I'm going to paint and dab these all over the textured areas. And while they're still wet in the base, they should still mix and blend together. To highlight the leather areas, I use P3 Bloodstone and Ivory from Vallejo. I stippled this highlight on all the edges to make it look like broken leather. To finish off the model, I used dry pigment powders on the base and all over the model. I used dark red ochre and fresh rust pigment powders from Vallejo. I applied both evenly all over the base and on the bikes themselves. I did leave the orc free from pigment because I wanted the green skin to really stand out. I used an old dry brush to push the pigment around and rub it into all the textures and the bike, dirtying up the entire model. I blew off all the excess pigment with a blow dryer. The pigment powders really brought these models to life. They look awesome and I really love them. Puppetswar really did an amazing job with these bikers. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll leave Puppetswar's My Mini Factory and Patreon links in the description below. Please like and subscribe, and if there's anything you would like to see, please comment it below. And I will see you all in my next video.